I'm Jalen. I'm a part-time family physician and a full-time mom to 3. My husband and I live in the Pacific Northwest. Today, we're talking about poop. Really, when it comes to it, everybody poops. Have you guys read that book? It's a really good one. Generally speaking, I feel like it's something that you should be talking to your doctor about. It should come up at the dinner table, but quite frankly, nobody wants to eat and talk about poop at the same time, so here we are, we're talking about it. The American College of Gastroenterology last year in 2018 changed the screening age for colorectal cancer from age 50 to age 45. People are getting colorectal cancer younger and more frequently than they did even 10 years ago. Now, I have my own opinions about it. I think, again, food first, food first, food first. It all starts with diet. But until we can have a sweeping revolution, if you will, of dietary change in America, we should all be talking about our poop. What should you talk to your doctor about? One of 4 things, or any of 4 things, happens. Number 1, there's a color change. We want poop to be dark brown, light brown, or any shade of brown in between. Number 2 is if the consistency or frequency of your bathroom habits have changed from what your normal is, it needs to be mentioned to your doctor. Now, number 3, the shape of your stool. The shape of your stool becomes pencil thin, and that is happening with every single bowel movement, then it's something to talk to your doctor about. Kid poop. We've probably seen many of it as moms or caregivers, and unfortunately, we can't get away from those diaper changes. Well, actually, you can. If the people who potty train their newborns want to chime in on this, feel free. But for most of us who are using some sort of pooper trappers, also known as diapers, we've all examined our kids' poop. Things like corn, peanuts, raisins usually aren't fully digested, so if you know what I mean, I think you know what I mean. We can kind of divide kid poop into a few age categories. The first category is infants who are either breastfed or formula fed. Breastfed infants who are not getting any solid food, so typically somewhere under the age of 6 months, very rarely get constipated. Now, part of what constipation is a change in the actual consistency of stool. Newborn breastfed poop is almost completely liquid or very unformed stool. We've got no logs that we're dealing with. So if your breastfed baby who gets no other source of nutrients from any other substance suddenly stops pooping, the chance that your child is actually constipated is very low. But the magical thing about breast milk is that some babies are actually able to absorb all of it. They need it to grow. So it is a crazy thing, but there literally could be nothing left over from the breast milk to cause constipation. I looked this up once after our kid didn't poop for 14 days. That's a really long time. The Guinness Book of World Records, this could have been updated from the time that I looked at it, said that the longest time that a breastfed baby had gone without having a bowel movement was 28 days. That is insane to me and totally terrifying as a parent. Certainly, don't hesitate to talk with your doctor, but don't be alarmed if your breastfed baby stops pooping. Typically, formulas are fortified with iron. The stool will not be quite as liquidy. This is very normal. And sometimes babies, especially with a transition from breast milk to formula, can struggle with their bowel movements. Occasionally, they might need a stool softener, and the specific stool softener can be recommended by your pediatrician or family care provider. The next stage of development would be when kids start solid food. Now, sometimes this happens around 5 months of age for breastfed infants or babies with other nutritional needs. Other times it's much later, as kiddos, as we all know, have their own opinions about when they would like to start eating. But in those kids in particular, depending on the types of food you introduce first, it is very normal and typical to have a fairly drastic change in their poops. Some kids get constipated, some kids have diarrhea. Most of the time this works itself out, no pun intended again, within a couple of weeks. So hold tight. Most of the time it's fine, but again, if there's any sort of concern, please talk with your healthcare provider. Another stage of transitional development as far as kid poop goes is around the age of 12 months when the American Academy of Pediatrics is to introduce cow's milk. Now, I will throw in an opinion here that I don't actually think babies need cow's milk. I might get a lot of flack for that. Now, lots of times if breastfeeding is stopped around the age of 12 months, which in the United States it's recommended for 12 months, the World Health Organization fortunately recommends it for much, much longer, as long as it's mutually desirable for both mom and child. Now, I will just say that there are many other milk substitutes for your kiddos that are out there. There's oat milk, there's soy milk, there's rice milk. It seems like the choices are overwhelming. If you're interested, we can do a video on that later. I will just add the caveat that I'm not a dietitian, but they are great references or resources if you are interested in not introducing cow's milk to your kiddo. Back to what I was talking about. Around 12 months, if you are introducing cow's milk to your kiddo's diet, there is a very, very good chance that your kid's going to have some more stool changes. Lo and behold, it's amazing. There is a high calcium concentration in cow's milk as well as a high fat concentration. This can either cause terrible diarrhea in kids or it can contribute to constipation, especially if your kid is eating a lot of other dairy products. All that to say that everybody poops. If you have your own established stooling schedule, I hope that no one ever copies that. If you have your own established poop schedule, you probably should be paying attention to it. Generally speaking, the things that we worry about are things that should throw up red flags in your mind as well. If something doesn't seem right, talk to your healthcare provider. Something might actually be wrong. It's never an embarrassing conversation. You guys, we talk about poop all day long. Hopefully this was informative. If you have any further questions, drop them in the comment box below. Have a great day. Bye.